Welcome, welcome, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic again, and a puzzle with just Renbands in it. No, not just Renbands. There is an extra wrinkle, so we'll get to this in a moment. It's by Math Pesto, not notable for preparing very easy puzzles. So we'll see how long this takes. I'm looking forward to giving it a go, as always, on the channel, and we will see how I do in a minute. Don't forget, there are still a couple of days left to enter the Patreon reward. This is Blobs' Marvellous Back to the Future Sudoku Hunt, and I've been reminded how good it is because I've been recording the first of the solution videos. The puzzles are excellent, and we urge you to try them, give them a go. There's also connections on our Patreon and various other posts. Simon Solving Listeners is the latest thing, Listen by Eck. There's more to come in that vein. Haha, there's more to come. Yeah, and my tough crossword for the month will be out, I think, on Friday, so loads going on. That's all on Patreon. There's also SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD linked under the video in the description field, and all of our apps featuring line Sudoku, like today, featuring chess Sudoku, like today, and Fog of War and the Worms. Now, we're already out with, I believe it's imminent again. In fact, let me just check. Oh, goodness me. It should be well known to me by now how to check this. Right, I'm having a look at the Cracking the Cryptic app on iPhone to see if the new worms are there, and they're not. As I do that, they are by Michael Lefkowitz and Phistomefel, no less, but they are coming very imminently, so we're looking forward to that. Let's look at this puzzle first of all. Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple Rain by Math Pesto, where normal Sudoku rules apply. Cells that are a knight's move apart in chess cannot contain the same digit. I am fishing around for my friend. Here he is, Knighty McKnightface, who will sit on my desk and remind me when I forget that rule. Knight's move applies. Digits on a line of any colour form a set of non-repeating consecutive numbers in any order. Now, I've converted one of the lines. This was purple on Math's original working, and the trouble is that we sometimes have purple lines that cross each other and count as the same line, and I don't want there to be any confusion. I mean, it's fairly clear from the length that that's not the same line as this line, or indeed the really long line, but I've made it grey in this version. And that means the solution won't be embedded in this version because I don't know how to achieve that with the puzzle given to me. But I'm still going to try and solve this puzzle. So they're all Renban lines. Every single one of them has a set of repeating digits. This could be 5, 6, and 7. Sorry, a set of non-repeating digits that are consecutive, but in any order. So this might be 7, 5, 6, for instance. Give it a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking, and don't forget the knight's move. Right. This is a 9-cell line. I've been counting it while I was talking. Is there... Okay, I was wondering... Oh, this one's interesting. This leads to roping, I believe, a line of exactly this shape. Let me try and explain that. These 3 digits, I will call them the 3 yellow digits, sit here on this line. In box 4, they can't sit here because of Sudoku. They can't sit here because you can't have a repeat on the same line. So those 3 yellow digits must sit there. And that means they must sit there in box 1. And then if you consider this set of digits, they must go there in box 4, and therefore there in box 7. And then this is a group of 3 digits as well. And this is what we call roping. It's like plaiting strands of material. And I'll just leave that colouring in for now in case it helps, but I don't know quite why it would. until we get more information. I mean, what we know is that blue and yellow are a string of consecutive digits, and that red therefore lie what I shall call outside the group of blue and yellow. Blue and yellow might be an interior sequence like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in which case red would be 1, 8, 9 and lie clearly outside them. Of course, blue and yellow might be a sequence running up to a 1 or a 9, so they might be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and red would then be 1, 2, 3. But I'm still considering that outside yellow and blue for the purposes of this puzzle. Now, it would be tempting to say, therefore, well, I don't know, no. But the trouble with that is that it makes you think of maybe red as 1, 2, 3, yellow as 4, 5, 6, blue as 7, 8, 9. There's no such clear demarcation of the groups. Yellow could be 2, 4, 5, blue could be 3, 6, 7, and red could be 1, 8, 9. And there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Entropy. There's no entropy about that. So let's have a think about this long one. The knight's move is interesting because this digit, where does it go in box 5? It can't go there or there. It can't go on its own line again. So it must go in one of these two. And this digit can't go on its own line again, so it goes in one of these two. And this digit goes in one of these two. That comes into the category of almost helpful for me. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that colouring. Let's just remember that there's roping. Because in the first 3 columns, it might help. But I've started considering this digit and where it goes in this box. Now, it can't go on its own line. It can't go in its own column. And that is a knight's move away from those two. So, thank you, Knighty McKnightface. We've found that digit in box 4, definitely. Now, where does that go in this box? None of those, none of those. I don't know. Oh, maybe we can find a cell in the grid that's difficult to place on this line, like this one. Yeah, this is interesting. Where does that go on the long 9, which is 9 cells long, so must have every digit on it? Doesn't go there by knight's move. Here they're in the same box. Here they're in the same column. There and there by knight's move. So it must go there. And then light blue's in one of those 2 cells. The sort of pinky cell I had is in one of those 2 in column 1. Now let's find another incredibly useful place. This one, it's not pink or light blue, so I'm going to call it orange, and it doesn't go there on the line or any of these cells, and it's not in that one because that is light blue, which is different. So orange is in one of those 2 in box 5 and one of those 3 in box 2. I think we could be looking at a full colouring puzzle today, ladies and gents. Okay, I'm going to bother to think about where this one goes on the long line. Again, none of those and not that. It can't be blue, but annoyingly it could be in any of those cells as far as I can see. So not a good cell to colour, unfortunately, if we can't narrow it down a little bit more than that. Now there was roping here, wasn't there? So that group of cells is the same as that group. So where does this go in that group? Knight's move says not there. So it goes here and in one of those 2 at the top. Then this one, let's do red for that one. I have to be a bit careful. No, it's okay. I'll explain in a moment. But red there must now be there and in any one of those 3, I think. So that's a trio, but we don't have much information. But we know exactly, in fact, they're in the same order there as they are there. Now, Why I was going to say I have to be careful is because I'm creating new colours for columns 1, 2, 3. But could they be the same as orange or light blue? They can't be the same as orange because that sees all of these 3 cells. This could have been the same as that, but it turns out they see each other in row 5. So what I've established here is 5 totally different colours and some shading some colouring for them around the grid. And I'm happy with that. I'm not a very choosy individual. Now it's much more interesting to ask where green goes on the long line, which I tried before. That has ruled out all of those cells. This one rules out those 2. So that's interesting. Green on the long line has ended up in one of those 2, which would be more helpful if they were in the same box. And I've got to be very cautious with this colouring now, but it was interesting. We've also got those 3 being roping around box 1 and box 7. I don't know. Okay, I've got to do more with the long line. Got to do more with the long line. So let's find a cell that is very difficult to place on the long line. Let's call it yellow because it's not orange or blue or red. It's not red. That's important. Where does it go on the long line? Not in box 5, not there by knight's move, and not here, because yellow is not red. So actually yellow goes here. Now, that is yellow, but I still don't know if yellow is green. It could be. I knew that green was in one of these cells. Right, if yellow was green, we would have these positions. Just going to see what happens. One of those 3, one of these 3. Nothing I can really hang a hat on. That was a good spot to look in. Let's look in this spot. Let's call this grey for now. Although as far as I can see, if the colours I've previously selected, it could only be pink. Where does it go on the line? Not there, because it can't be the same as red. Not there, it must go here. On the long line, it can't go in its own box. That's a knight's move away, that's in the same column, and it's not allowed to be the red cell. So grey goes here, and now I know it's not pink. It is, well, it is a 6th colour if I don't count yellow as a colour yet. These 2 cells are the same, but I'm happier with my green than I am with yellow, and they could be the same, so I still have to maintain some bizarre caution about that. Now, right, I'm going on. I said earlier, where does this cell go in box 5? And it can't be on its own line, so it's in one of those 2. Now, this is not going to be green, orange, light blue, grey, yellow, whatever yellow is, red. I haven't done anything else except pink, but this could be pink, except that it has to go in one of those 2 cells. Oh, hang on. Yes, it does. This could have been pink, but no, not given where it goes in in box 5, because that'll clash with this pink. So this is a new colour. It can't be either of yellow or green. Right. This is a new colour, dark blue, and it goes in one of those 2, and it is a 6th or 7th colour. All of these are definitely different, but we still have yellow could be green. Okay, I'm just carrying on with my goal of colouring the whole puzzle now, because I don't see what else we can really do realistically. Okay, what colours have I got onto the long line? red, dark blue, grey, light blue, orange is here somewhere, green is here somewhere. Wow, that is either, this is either yellow and green, or yellow, or just green, which is the same as yellow. Oh, I don't know quite what I'm thinking at the moment. Sorry, I'm not getting any clarity in my head. But I think we're doing the right sort of approach. I just want validation by being able to close off box 5 or something. I've got one colour that I've just never thought of at all. So this cell, it could be green. Of the colours we've done, this digit, this place, actually sees those ones by Sudoku, that one by Night Smooth. So of the colours we've done, it can't actually be yellow, because yellow is here. But it could be green if that wasn't green. Otherwise, it's a completely new colour. And I'm wondering where it goes on the long line in either case. If it's bright green, it's got to be there. If it's the new colour, it's got now, no, it's in one of those two. That's not quite enough information, is it? This is frustrating. I don't quite understand. How to make any progress is really what I don't understand. I mean, I'm kind of thinking I'll colour the whole grid and then know roughly what 1 is and be able to place that around. And then maybe we can work out the other lines based on those numbers. That's my possibly flawed strategy for numbers. Right, where does red go in this box? That's just normal Sudoku in a way, with colours, admittedly. And it's a very interesting question. And I like it. Red goes here. It can't go in this cell because that has to be yellow. Even if it is also bright green, it has to be yellow. And yellow sees red. So red goes here. Now, that's ruled these out as red. Red's already on the long line, so it can't be in those cells. Red can't be grey or yellow, so that is red. And therefore it is not dark blue, which is now here. And now we know that the 4 cells off the line, the long line, in box 5, are red, dark blue, yellow and grey. And they must be these cells. Well, we knew that. Red, dark blue, grey. And that one is definitely yellow, even though it could still be bright green. It's quite difficult to keep this in mind. Anyway, we got a red there. We can't get red there on the same line or there by Night Smooth, so that's red. And that isn't red in the corner. Red can't be there. Red can't be in any of these cells. It is in one of those two. I wish I knew more. Red by Night Smooth sees that. There's a red in one of those two. And that rules out red from both of these, which is interesting. That puts red here, which sees this cell in turn. Now we can do red there. Red has to be there in column 8. And we've found that red is not here. This also can't be pink. So this is definitely bright green, which sorts out this set. And we've got all the reds in the puzzle, but. I do not know enough. And this bright green and yellow thing is really getting on my wick at the moment. because I just don't know how to resolve it. Right, this is a colour, this central cell. It's not bright green or yellow, even if they're different. What else isn't it? It's not red, dark blue, grey, yellow, light blue. I've mentioned yellow and green. It's not any of those colours. That's 6 of them. It's not orange. That's 7 of the colours in use. We've got a new colour still to come, and maybe a second one, depending if yellow is the same as green. But what is this then? Where? I don't know. I want to say, where does it go? Well, it obviously goes in one of these 2 cells in box 8. It doesn't go in those. So it doesn't go in these. Can it be pink? Yeah, that's really, I think it has to be pink. Okay, let me try and explain my thinking here. I may be confusing myself really badly, but it clearly doesn't, whatever this is, and it's new. So I could make it this sort of pale green instead of bright green. It's not any of the other colours that we've found, except it could be pink. We've ruled out red, blue, yellow, orange, light blue. Green it can't be because of that. And yellow it can't be. And it can't be grey. Okay. This is a new colour that we have not placed anywhere. It's not even yellow or green. But it could be pink. It's a new colour or pink. Whatever this is. Now it can't go in those cells. And that means because, oh no, they're different from these. Oh, bother. So it does go in those cells. It does go in those. And it does go in those. And that is, oh, so it's not pink. Hang on. What if it is pink? When I said it must go in those, I'd forgotten that it could be pink. Right. The absolute simple thing, perhaps, to ask is, can it be pink? No, the simple thing to ask is, where does pink go in box 5? That one sees those cells. Pink can't be any of these colours. I think we've established that. But I am just going to check them all. Yeah, those are all seen by this one. And those two, yes, okay. Pink also isn't bright green, and pink isn't yellow either. So this doesn't go there or there. It must be in one of those 2 cells. Pink is in one of those 2. And they both see that cell, including by Knight's move. So pink is now in one of these in box 6. Pink can't be there. So it's in one of these 2, and that's an X-wing. Now pink is in one of those 2, but it can't be there by Knight's move. So pink is definitely here. We don't know if it's there, so it's in one of these 3, which mean it can't be there. That's the same cell I'd found out before that it couldn't be in this box. Oh, those 2 also see that cell. So it can't be in either of those 2. So pink in this box is in one of those. And pink's in one of these 3, according to the pinks I'm putting in here. Now, if that's pink, and that's pink. If that's pink, and that's pink. And I don't see either of these ever being pink in those scenarios. One of these is right for pink. So, if that was pink, pink would have to be here and here. Then it would be there and there. Oh, pink, you're not being very friendly. Goodness, I can't quite work my way through that. I'm probably going to have to use the blooming Renban lines. Blue's in one of those two, dark blue, definitely. Grey's in that set, along with orange. We've done light blue. Ooh, yellow is here. Does that prove it either is green, bright green, or isn't? That is definitely yellow. It doesn't prove it. I mean, I'm because I keep not getting evidence that yellow isn't bright green, I'm beginning to believe that it probably is, but probably is not good enough. Okay, other cells. Orange, no, I've looked at that. Pink and bright blue. I've kind of looked at all these things. Oh, maybe it's a good question. What can one be? Because it can't be green, which is in one of those, and it can't be yellow. So even if they're different, it can't be either of them. It can't be pink, which is in a different place in the box. It can't be grey. It can't be light blue on the Knight's move. It can't be red. It could be dark blue or orange, but I've still got a colour to come. Oh, bobbins. I need to find one other exciting cell in the grid and work out something about it. Maybe. Or maybe I need to just tie up this line and work out what's on it. This line's actually no use for numbers. It contains the digits 1 to 9 in some order. And that's just not going to help me. If yellow is different from green, which I don't think is probably going to happen, but let's assume it was. So this is bright green. And bright green would be in one of those two cells, and definitely here. Let's just visualize what happens with bright green in the case that yellow is different from bright green. Bright green is definitely here. One of those two, one of those two. Oh, not there on the Knight's move. Bright green is different from yellow. Then we've got, I mean, it is possible. Then we've got the new colour in this group. Oh, bother, I didn't mean to click. In that group in column 6, it would have to be there, one of those two. Where can I find a cell somewhere in the puzzle that has to be a new colour? That's my new goal. Maybe visiting lots of box 5. So this cell here sees all of those. But it could be grey or that or dark blue. No, that's not an interesting place. Goodness me, I'm struggling here. I mean, that's very obvious, but it does happen. We're kind of on the verge of a breakthrough. I think these pinks work either way round. And they're just different, each different way round. Yeah, I can't sort out the pinks. I've tried. Now, okay, let's think about bright green. Bright green and yellow are the confusing ones. That bright green sees all these cells. Bright green is in one of those two. Obviously, if it's there, it's also there, but it's in one of those two, and therefore it's in one of these three. Ah, and in this box, it's definitely bright green. no, I was going to say definitely in one of those two, but of course it could be yellow. That's a huge problem for me. This bright green sees all of these cells. This one is unable to be bright green because bright green is definitely in one of those two on the line, so it can't be there. So either that or that is bright green in this box. Okay, here's another weird thought that is worth pursuing. Red and yellow are both on this 4-cell line. Now, red is on this, 7-cell line. It would be very telling if yellow wasn't on this line. But yellow certainly isn't in any of those cells. No, I don't know what that means. This cell can't be any of light blue or dark blue. Just clutching now. This is very difficult though. Why do people send me difficult puzzles, people? Because they like watching me struggle. That can be the only conclusion. Red's also on this line. Red's on a lot of lines. Red is not on this line though. Okay, so red is, yes, all of these cells are not 4, 5 and 6 because I think 4, 5 and 6 have to be on a 6-cell line. So these other colours are not from 4, 5, 6. They're outside. And they include red, which is either from 1, 2, 3 or from 7, 8, 9. Red is not 1, we know that. This line also has to include 4, 5 and 6 because it's 7 cells long. It will also include 3 and 7, but 4, 5 and 6 are the interesting ones. Because 4, 5 and 6 are in these cells and do not include red and pink. And they are on this line. So 4, 5 and 6 could be in these cells, or they could be light blue, orange, or this thing down here. Oh, this can't be pink again on this line. Oh, it's blindingly clear, isn't it? That's going to clear up all the pinks. Oh, it's been obvious for ages. Oh well, when you eventually see it, it feels like a huge relief. Now that's not pink, and that one is in the middle. So pinks are all done here. And now, do we know? No, we don't. Green is still one of those two. I'd better mark them like that. And yellow is definitely in those three, but it could be green. Probably is. Could be. Could be. And there is an 8th colour and maybe a 9th. And the 8th colour is light green. Pale green, pale green. And it's in one of these two cells, because that is either yellow or dark green. Okay. Now, what are these two colours? Is there anything from here they could be? Yes, they could be bright green if it was here. What I'm thinking about, no, I'm thinking about this colour. That sees those two cells. Whereas this colour sees those two. I don't know what this means yet, but I think it might mean something. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm trying to get this done and it's a struggle. Right, this digit. It can't be yellow, but and it can't be bright green either. Okay, well I'm going to call this colour 8, which could be colour 9 if bright green and yellow are different. That one has to go in this group of cells at the top. It is not allowed to be yellow, so it can't be there. It goes in these cells as well with orange. And now, it's not allowed in those grey cells, and it's not allowed there. Have we got any more information on this light green colour? Pale green. Pale green, that's what I'm trying to learn to call it. I don't know, does it? If it went there, it would have to be in one of these three. And in fact, it would have to be in that cell. So if this was pale green, we've got it going on a bit. What goes wrong with that? I don't know. The alternative to it going there is that it's one of these three, which is one of these, where it can't go at the bottom, then it's one of these. And this would be pale green now. It'd be in one of those four. We know it's in one of these two and one of those three. This grouping in between boxes 4 and 5 requires one of them to be in row 5. So then you end up with bright green, or pale green rather, being in one of these cells. And this cell is either the 9th colour, if yellow is the same as green. So let's assume there is a 9th colour, and it's here. If yellow is the same as bright green, it would have to be there. It would be in this group. It's now not allowed to be in these two cells. So it's in one of those three. That position doesn't do much. Well, it's in one of those three in box 9. If it's not yellow or bright green, this is, we're talking about. Well, if it's not specifically bright green. Can't be in row 5, column 1 because of those positions. It would have to be in one of those three. It's the 9th colour. It doesn't appear anywhere in the grid at the moment. I'm meant to be using the lines more. This just isn't working. But I cannot work it out. I cannot work it out yet. This line doesn't have any bright green or yellow on it yet. If they're the same, it can't get any. It does have red and pink, which are two of the outsiders. I think they must be in the same entropic group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and not 4, 5, 6. Right, remember they're not on this line, which contains 4, 5, 6. That's why red and pink are not from 4, 5, 6. They have to be outies to this line. So they're from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, but they're both on this line. Now, if they were 1 and 7, that wouldn't leave enough innies for this line. Oh, but they could be 1 and 8. I was going to say they're from the same entropic group. That's not right, is it? Oh, goodness gracious, golly me. A man who did not know how to approach a puzzle. I just don't get it. We've got all the reds and pinks in the grid. Can I do better with another colour? How about this dark blue, which is ruled out of all of those cells. So dark blue's in one of those two. Hadn't thought about that briefly. And this dark blue, I must know it can't be red or pink or bright green. Yes, I do. So it's not in those cells. So it's in one of those three, not that one. And then it's in one of these two. And by, I was going to say osmosis, but it's by Knight's move, in fact, by Knighty McKnightface, we can place it there. So now I can place it here, and dark blue has become a 1. And, you know, how thrilling. Oh, that is thrilling, because it's on the 6-cell line. That is 1 to 6. And now these are 7, 8, 9. Wherever they appear, let's highlight all the reds and all the pinks. I'm going to be a little bit more circumspect with the bright greens because I don't know where they are here. But once 1 is on that line, this is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, well, 1 is in one of those cells and is bright blue. That one sees these cells. That's not so helpful. One of these is a 1. Okay, but we've got these 7, 8, 9s going on. Now, can I apply that to this line somehow? Yellow is not from 7, 8, 9. So it's from 4, 5, 6, given the Renban style. That 1 cannot be on the line. Ah, this is 1. That's going to stop that being dark blue and make that the 1. And that sees this by Knight's move and places a 1 there. And we've suddenly used the Renbans, which feels really good. And I'm going to make that the 1. Oh, goodness, 40 minutes in, and I've placed a few digits. I've placed all the 1s. Hurrah! Now, 1 is not on this line, but there is a digit from 4, 5, 6 and a digit from 7, 8, 9. These two are not from 7, 8, 9. Surely they have to be the other digits from 4, 5, 6. They definitely do. Oh, where's yellow in this box? Oh, well, it can't be there anymore. Ah, hang on, have I made a misassumption? Yes, I have. Yes, I absolutely have. Right, I don't think it was a problem with 1s, but I'm going back to where I wrote that this was 4, 5 or 6, because I'd forgotten, very naughtily, that this could be a bright green, and that is important. So let's not count that, because I was assuming there that that wasn't bright green. I can't make that assumption. However, I do still know this can't be a 1 on this Renban. So I can still do the thing with putting in all the 1s, making them blue, and getting rid of blue in those cells. And indeed any pencil marks. Yeah, okay, so the 1s are fine. But these two digits must come from the 4, 5, 6 set, because they can't be from the 7, 8, 9 set in this box, and they're attached to a 7, 8 or 9 there on a Renban. So those are from the 4, 5, 6 set. Where does yellow go in box 1? Bearing in mind it could be bright green. Well, it can't be on its own line and it can't be there and there. So it's in one of those cells. These, wow, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have yellow. Well, they have these two cells on. You've also got this line, which has 2 of the digits from 7, 8, 9 on it. No 1 on it, unsurprisingly. So it's got to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on it, and either 2 or 9. Right, none of these are 7, 8 or 9. I don't know where bright green is in this box, but I know it's not there because bright green's in one of those two. So that is not bright green. Those two are not because they see this one. And this line does not have the third digit from 7, 8, 9 on. So the two it has on from that set are 7 and 8, and they are pink and red. And that means, well, it means that bright green is 9. Sorry if I've messed up the order of the writing the numbers in. Bright green is 9 and is not on this line. 7 and 8 are on it, and obviously 6, 4, 5, 3 and 2. And I say that as though, aha, but I don't really know what it means. Oh, these are all different, of course. Blue, orange and bright green, pale green, now have to be in these cells. What I really want to learn is whether bright green is the same as yellow, and I'm just not learning that at the moment. 9's in one of those and one of these. 9 can't be on this cell because that's not an 8-7 pair. Oh, that's interesting. That can't be 8 because 7's not on this line. So red is 7. Pink is 8. Now this line doesn't have 8 on, so that digit is also from 4, 5, 6. That digit. No, it could be 9. No, it can't be 9. Hang on. It can't be 9 because there's no 8 on this line, and that's it. That is what I needed. Yellow is different from green. I would have got away with it earlier, but you would have rightly pointed out you don't know what you're doing. You don't know that you've got the right to assume that. So these are yellow, and that is bright green. Goodness, okay, that's where we found out that 9 couldn't be on this line, and that's a 4, 5, 6 triple. And okay, I'm excited. That is bright green. Now, one of these two is bright green. There's a knight's move to resolve that. Thank you, Mr. McKnightface again. That is 9. They're all 9 now, and there can't be many 9s to put in the grid. There's 1 there. And there's going to be 1 here. And this is going to be light blue. And that sees all of these cells and that one. What is light blue? Well, it's got to be here, whatever it is. That's just sort of knight's move technology. This light blue, oh, come on. Light blue's in one of those two. Still having to kind of mark possibles. That 654 set, I feel like I ought to know what they are, but honestly, there's no real way of knowing how yet. So let's choose the colours that I'm doing best in. I've done all the 9s, 8s and 7s in the grid and the 1s. This is a 4, 5, 6 set. They all see that cell and that cell. So they must be 2 and 3. Mustn't they? Yes, they must. So this light blue is 2 or 3. This digit is from 4, 5, 6 and is therefore yellow. Yellow's in one of those 3 and one of these 2. It's in one of those 2 specifically. That yellow sees those 2 cells. Oh, I don't know. That one sees those 2. Oh, this line has to have 5 and 6 on it. And they are, well, I don't know what these colours are. Maybe I should. Maybe I should got to focus on these colours. I've still got grey, pale green and orange. They are my other 3 colours. I just don't know which ones these are. They're all three sitting there. Oh, I don't know, still don't know how to do this. But these are grey, pale green or orange. That one's pale green or grey. This one is grey or orange. These are 2, 3, 4. And the bright blue must be in one of these cells. Oh, bright blue is in one of those two. And one of these two. And I still don't know which one. I've got it in one of those two and one of these two. Now, that means that's an X-wing. It's not in those cells, it's in one of these two. Surely there's some blimmin' Knight's move sorting out these somehow. No, there's this Renban, isn't there? It's going to have a 5, no, a 4 on it at the moment. How is that helpful? It's selected from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's got to have a 4 on it. Oh, goodness, I don't know. Right. What is the other 2 or 3? I mean, I just don't know what these colours are. I've done very bad. Oh, look, grey there sees all of those cells. So it's on one of those two, along with yellow. So then it's in one of those two along with yellow. That's interesting. It's a bit interesting. It's got to be in one of those two, but I don't know whether it's from the 1, 2, 3 set or 4, 5, 6 yet. It's almost got to be on that line, but not quite. Okay, so that's grey and yellow. This orange or green can't be in either of those, so it must be over here. I'm going to get rid of the 9 colouring so I can just talk about green and not worry about how green it is. In fact, let's change it to bright green, which is a bit clearer. Okay, so still don't know how to resolve this. 6, 5, 4 on that line. There's nothing more I can do with that line. This is the line that gets interesting, because this is going to have, well, it's either 4, 5, 6 or it has some from each entropic set. The entropic sets aren't interesting. It's this line maybe that is. 5 or 6 is that cell. No, I've just got to do better with orange or grey. I've just got to be smarter. It's easy to say. It's harder to do. This, we've got roping here. So this digit is the same as this one. And appears in one of those two. Now, can we learn anything from that? If these are the same, they're not red, pink, bright blue, dark blue. They're not yellow. They're not grey. They're not 9. So they are either orange or green. And they're the same as each other. Come on, roping, do something. They're either orange or green. I'm just trying to work out what that means. So they're in one of these two cells and one of these two. This cell that started in row 6, column 1. They're somewhere over here, and that's a bit of a broken read, isn't it? And they're in those cells somewhere. No, I can't quite get at it. Okay, let's assume that was green, because that might be interesting if it failed. Green, green, green there. Now, green can't be on its own line, so it would be there. And it would have to be in one of those three in box 6, and one of those two, obviously we've pencil marked them. Then it would be here or here. I don't see why that fails. It's quite prescriptive, and it keeps row 6, column 1 tied to row 7, column 2. Okay, let's try the alternative, which is orange is here, because these can't both be grey. Let's try the alternative. Orange there, orange there. That would put orange in both of these. And again, orange is in one of those. Orange would be in one of these. So, okay, what I'm learning is this is either orange or green, and it appears in one of those two cells, along with grey. And it must be here, the same digit must be there. This is the same thing, whether it's orange or green. Oh, Bobbins McBobbins face. Grey is definitely in one of these two, so those can't be yellow. This can't be yellow or grey. But where does this appear? Here. It doesn't appear as yellow or grey. It doesn't appear in those by Sudoku. It doesn't appear here because that's the same as that, and that sees this. This doesn't appear there by Knight's move, and it doesn't appear there because it's a 1. So this digit definitely appears here and is not light blue because it's 4, 5 or 6. Goodness me. So that is light blue, and that isn't, and this is. Well, that's something learned, isn't it? Isn't that anything? And this digit is there and in one of these two. And it's a 4, 5 or 6. I don't know what colour it is, but maybe I'm about to find out. What have we got left to put in this box after grey and yellow are there? We've got green, orange, obviously, and 9. So green and orange are now in these two. 9 doesn't have a colour anymore. So one of those is grey, that is green or orange as well, and it's the same one as this. So these include green or orange, which is either green there or orange here. I wish that was more helpful. It doesn't look very helpful out down in the corner. Now, maybe we start from somewhere other than green and orange being known here and here. Maybe we start from there instead and see if we can generate something interesting. So, I'm going to call these both green and orange. And both of these, I don't know whether they've got green or orange in. Green and orange are a 5 and 6 pair. Well, that's quite interesting in its own right, isn't it? What about this line? 5, 6, 8, 7. These others are from 2, 3, 4. Grey and yellow are from 2, 3, 4. I mean, I don't know if I've known this before. Look, that's a 2, 3, 4 on this line. This digit, oh, green and orange are 5 and 6. I mean, green and orange. Is that green and orange? No, not necessarily. Yellow is from 2, 3, 4. So in this 4, 5, 6 triple, yellow is there. Yellow must be 4. Wow, I don't even know how I've worked that out in a way, but it's true. Right, that's now a 5, 6 pair, and they don't include grey. So this digit is grey and is 2 or 3. Okay, this is something happening now. Grey is from 2 or 3. So these don't include grey either. They are green and orange. They can't be. I've got this wrong. Oh, botheration. They can't be because there isn't any place to put 5, 6, 4 here. Look, I've got 2, 3, 4 and another cell that's from 2, 3, 4. These have to be 7, 6, 5. So no wonder I didn't know how I'd done it. I'd done it wrong. I was really happy with that yellow conclusion. It was on this line. There's no 9 on it. It's got to have 2, 3 and 4 on. Why did I think that green and orange couldn't include a 4? Because, because I thought green and orange had to be 5, 6. That's not right, because this isn't green and orange. This includes grey. Grey is either 5 or 6. Okay, well, I'll use it that way round then. This is not a 5, 6 pair. Grey is either 5 or 6, because one of these has to be grey. They can't be green and orange, or you couldn't fit green and orange both into this cell. So grey is 5 or 6. And therefore this cell is grey, because we've pencil marked this as 2 or 3 because of the line. Okay, this is 5 or 6 here. Grey is 5 or 6. It's not there, grey, anymore because of the knight's move. Now grey is going to be in one of those two. That's not grey. Here, I don't know. Never mind. 5 or 6 there. Okay, maybe this is a bit better. Now, either yellow is 4. The other one here is the 5 or 6, the green or orange. So yellow is not a candidate for 5 or 6. So in this row, where do 5 and 6 go? One of them goes here. And that's the same cell as this. We've known that. So this digit is a 4. And that's either orange or green now. Now, how did I know that was 4, 5 or 6? Is that a mistake from earlier? No, I've got this 2, 3 pair. That's to do with this 4, 5, 6 in yellow. That's fine. This is a 4. I don't know if it's green or orange, but it must go there in box 5. And it's not there. That's a 5, 6 pair. It's here. It's so strange that I don't know what colour it is, but I'm right this time. 4 there, and they both see that cell, so the 4 in row 3 is here. We know one of these is a 4. One of those two is a 4. And the other one is a light blue 2 or 3. Still, that's not a 5 or 6 either. That's 2 or 3 as well. That's a 2, 3, 4 triple. This is a 5, 6 pair. The yellow one is at the top. The grey one is below it. That's not grey now. That's grey and is 5 or 6 and is not 4. The 4 is here. Do we know the colour of 4? No, only that it's green or orange. Grey, that's grey now. And this one isn't grey. This is the other 5 or 6, which is orange or green and must go here. This is 4, which is also orange or green. Now on this line we've got a 5, 6 pair. Yellow, oh no, now I need yellow to be 2 or 3 somehow. And up here it certainly isn't. I just keep messing this up. I don't even know what I've done wrong here. I thought it was all going well. I've got the colouring wrong, haven't I? Ah, it's so frustrating. Right, I'm going to rescue this. Let's take out the 4s. Let's take out all of 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and their respective colours. Let's just get rid of the lot and start again. Let's assume that where we've got to with the 1, 7, 8, 9 is all good, because that felt good. Right, I'm literally getting rid of the lot. Let's try it again without these colours in the grid, because we know what to look at now. We've got this line which has to have 4, 5, 6 on, so we'll give them 3 colours: yellow, sorry, that's not yellow, yellow, grey and green, and they see that cell and that cell, so that's a 2, 3 pair. This is the other green from 4, 5, 6. Just going to go from sort of the end here. Orange and bright blue for these two. Okay, let's try and get this done differently now. Better. That had to be 4, 5, 6. This line has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on it. And we've got roping. So those 3 cells are those 3. They are blue, bright blue, green and grey, and they're down here too. Grey, green and bright blue. So these 2 are orange and yellow, and we know which way round they go because of the Knight's move. That's okay. That yellow sees all of these cells. So one of these 2 is yellow. And one of these 2 is yellow. And yellow is 4, 5 or 6. These are yellow and orange down here. We don't know the order. That's okay. I am going to rescue this bloomin' puzzle. Yellow can't be there, so it's in one of these 2 and it's not there. Let's mark it as in one of those 2 and finish it off in box 5 with a 4, 5, 6 and a yo-ho-ho. Those can't be yellow. Yellow has to appear on this grey line, so it must be in one of these 2. What else has to appear? Orange has to appear, don't know, somewhere there. Now, those 2 possibilities see both of those cells. This is the only place in row 3 for yellow. Now it can't be there in row 1, it's in one of those 2. In this row, the only possible place for yellow is here. And that's going to sort it out in box 3 and box 6. And not in this pair. Okay. Orange has not appeared on this line yet, and it must do. It's in one of those 3. Maybe it's this line I need to sort out next. What's got to get on it? Green, orange, grey. Oh, grey sees that, so it's not grey. One of these 2 is green. And that green sees those, so one of these 2 is green. Green is not 9, obviously. That means that's not green. I'm so annoyed with myself. Ah, those 2 can't be, these 2 can't be orange by Knight's move, so that's orange in the column. Now we've found it on the line. Good. Those 2 greens see that cell, so that can't be green. Green on the line is either here or here. 4, 5 or 6. This line's going to come into play at some point, because this one we only need to complete with the colours. Whichever that is in one of those two, because it doesn't appear on the line up there, so it has to be on the line here. And whichever this is in one of those two in the central box. But because it's in one of these two in box 8, in box 2, it must be in one of those two. So it's not there. So this digit is also here. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to give it a letter, which was not something I was expecting to do. But let's do it. Let's call this one A. And there is A again. And A is in one of those two. But A is not there. So A is in one of these two as well as those two. And it's in one of these two on the line because it has to get on the line. And in this row, it's got to be here. I'm looking at this column but not getting anything out of it. So A is there. I don't know its colour. One of these is green. That's not green. One of these 3 is green. Grey can't be there. Can that be A? I haven't worked out where A is here. If A was in one of those two, A would be there and there. And one of these two, and that's fine. If A was grey, it would rhyme, A and grey, but it would also not really reveal itself at all. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, but I'm still going to persevere on. Those are a bit out of play. This is in play. This sees all of these cells. So it's either A, or it's yellow, or it could even be that cell. That's not really in play. Yellow is 4, 5, 6. I don't see how that's helping me. This line maybe is trying to help me, but that is so vague, it's not really doing anything. What is orange? Orange is 2 or 3. I hadn't really observed that. So one of these two must be bright blue. No, it could be down here. A could be bright blue. Is it up here? Oh, bright blue has to be there. I hadn't even seen that. And then it's here, bright blue. And that sees both these cells. So it's in one of these two. And now that can't be bright blue, and that can't be. Bright blue has to be in one of these two. And it has to be in one of these 3, but it's also in one of those 2. Come on, do something, bright blue. You were being good to me for a second. Okay, these two are orange and grey in some order. Well, we know the order. Good. Orange there, grey there. Now these can't be grey, that's grey. Orange can't be there, that's orange. This is bright green. Well, that's nice. Grey sees those cells. So grey's in one of these 2. That grey sees these cells. Bright green and grey. These are bright green and grey in some order. And these must include orange, therefore, because that's by elimination all that's left. So orange is down here somewhere. Now, orange, both of those are there. That was already seen by orange. Come on, Mark. 71 minutes in. You can do this. You can do this. We can work it out. Grey is there. So that's not grey. One of these is grey. Now grey has to be in one of these two, along with bright blue. So these are green and orange together. That's by elimination. And that cell can't be orange because it sees both of them. So that's bright blue. And that's quite interesting. Oh no, I was going to say now we know bright blue is A. But do we? No, we don't. A could still be grey. Okay, we don't. But we've got more bright blue than we had a moment ago. This is not bright blue. That's a grey-green pair. So I'm doing this by colour alone. That's orange. This is green. Got green there. This is green. How's orange go? I can't do orange in the bottom two rows, and I can't do grey either in this column. But still progress goes on. Grey and yellow are 4, 5, 6. That could be grey, or it might not be. Bright blue is 2 or 3. So this line includes 1 from 2 and 3 at least. This can't be 6 anymore. Yellow is not 6. That's new information. Yellow is not 6. I don't know that it's helpful information. This is linking these. It's 2, 3, 4, or 5. But we don't know which colour it is. How was A getting on? A was there and there and there and there. No, not necessarily there. Because A, well, A is there or there in column 3. So one of those two. And A is either bright blue, green, or grey. One of those two we had. Oh, come on. I was going to say the other A in row 7, but there's only one A in each row and column. No, I can't see that working out. Oh, I'm so close though. Oh, we know what this colour is because it's the last one on its, well, it is the last one on its line, but we don't know whether it's blue or grey because those are the two that we have left, bright blue and grey. That's not green. So A is not green. A is blue or grey. I could have learned that from there. This is not A, so there is another letter that is blue or grey. I'm going to call it B. So those include A and B. Here I'm not so sure. B could be in one of those two, so it's in one of those 3. That is A or B. Because blue and grey are A and B. Come on, help. Do something helpful, A and B. It's not helpful enough. Orange is 2 or 3 as well. That's here. So this rose had its 2, 3 pair. And this digit is not 2 or 3. That's very good. This must be a 4, 5 pair now on this Renban. And now bright blue must be a 3. Well, that's something. Got a few of them to place. That 4, 5 pair now are yellow and either green or grey. Now, is there somewhere I know that from? 4, 5 pair, yellow and either green or grey. Yellow is definitely from 4, 5, and this one is, this is a 6 in, orange is 2 now because it's 3 or 2 and it's been proved not to be 3. So orange is 2. This digit is a 6. I don't know what the colour is, but I do know it's a 6. 2s are down here somewhere. Okay. This grey is 4, 5 or 6, very obviously. That's a 4, 5 pair. Are they both looking somewhere? No. 6 is green or grey. That's not 6. So 6 is here or here in the box. And therefore, yeah, 6 is in one of those 2 cells, and that is a 6 in the row. Green or grey again, not telling me anything. That can't be 6. So one of these 2 is a 6, and one of these 2, and that's not telling me anything new either. I feel like I'm close, but not close enough yet. That's fine. A is in one of those 2. I've got my pencil marks a bit nasty now, because A could be 3. According to these 2, which are the same, A is 3, 4 or 5. I'm going to have to take out the A and B pencil marks, I'm afraid, because they're just going to confuse me now that I've got some cells with full digits written in. That's annoying. 3 is bright blue, so one of these... Oh, 3 can't be on this Renban then. Oh, and that's been available for a long old time. Never mind, that's not bright blue now. 3 is in one of those 2 cells. Now, this one is not allowed on the line again, so those 2 are the same. 2 can't be on this stupid Renban either, so it's definitely there, and it's orange. And it's definitely not here, and instead it's definitely here. And then we've got 4, 5 and 6 still to place in the bottom row. But this has to be 4 now, doesn't it? And it's yellow, because that is now 7, 6, 5. Yes. Right, yellow is 4, and it's going in these cells. And that is not yellow anymore. Right. Now, I've got 5 and 6 to sort out, and this digit is a 5. But I don't know its colour. But that's going to sort out 6 and 5 down here, where I don't know the colour. All of these greys are not 4, nor are those greens. Right, we've got 5 and 6 still to sort out. No, we've done 4. 5, 6 and 3 in one of those cells as well. Okay, we've still got some 3s to go. But I am going to get to the finish now. This is a 3, 5 pair in this row. Just need to spot another knight's move, and I'm away. That's a 3 or a 5. 6 sees that cell, and so does 3. So this is 5, and that's bright green. Definitely 5. Okay, so all the 5s are bright green. All the 6s are grey. And then we can make these grey. That's a 3. Does that have a colour? Yes, that is bright blue, and there it is again. Those 2 are not bright blue. This is 5, that's 3, this is 6. Now, this is 6 and 3, and I'm afraid, as so often, this has become a tribute to perseverance rather than skill. And we've got 3, 5, 6 to put in here. Let me just... Before I do that, let's get rid of all the colours there and try and correct them. Bright blue, green and grey. And there we go. That is the colouring, and I'm going to put in 3, 5, 6. And it's not going to know that that's correct, but it is correct. It's a very clever puzzle nonetheless. I mean... Oh dear, it rained over me. Now, let me just check the lines. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one has all the digits on. That's a 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a 3, 4, 5. And this is a 5, 6, 7. And that, my friends, is a very hard puzzle. Solved very poorly, but solved. And I take the win. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching and bye for now.